Hi YouTube, it's your girl Dina, and I'm here with my official Twilight Eclipse review. I did a review of New Moon. Seeing New Moon sparked me to read the whole series. I've read the series, and now it's a totally different experience to go to see the movie, and you already kind of know the outcome. First, let me preface this by saying I'm having tooth problems. My face on the side is a little bit swollen. And it's hard for me to speak. So if I'm speaking like funny, that's because I have a toothache and I'm getting over it. It's still kind of swollen. Anyway, I'm glad that they incorporated a lot of the book, and like just like the first two movies, they incorporate a lot of the book. So I was happy to see that. It was totally awesome. The fight scenes were great. Like, the actors were great. Everything was really nice. I think it won up to New Moon in my opinion, so I was happy to see that. You know, when you go, especially if you read the books, when you're going to see the movie, you always have in the back of your head that it may not live up to your expectations, and it may not stay really close to the book, or it may like stray away from the book and become something totally different. So you always have that fear in the back of your mind. So having said that, I'm just going to go over a few key points that I really enjoyed during the movie. Okay, so by the time I upload this, it's going to be well over the well past 4th of July weekend. So if you're a true Twilight fan, you've probably already seen the movie. So this is my disclaimer. There are some, what is it called when you, there are some, I'm going to be telling you some of the movie. Go ahead and stop watching if you need to. Anyway, but if you don't care about knowing, or if you've read the book, then let's dish. Okay, so first off, in the beginning, I was kind of confused, because I'm glad that the movie started the way it did, because it starts with the newborns and how the newborn leader, whatever his face is called, how he becomes the newborn and all that. I have to say that I love on Twilight and on New Moon especially, and they did it again here on Eclipse. I love the opening name of the movie, like Eclipse. New Moon was a big fat orange beautiful moon with that new moon coming around it. Well, the words new moon coming around it, that was so beautiful to me. And then Eclipse did the same thing. It was that it was a bright light, and then the moon going over the sun, and there was an eclipse, and the words eclipse, and then it passed back over. Oh my God, I love those. I really do. I mean, it just sets up, I just love them. Okay, so like I said, I was kind of confused in the beginning, because it did not actually start off the way the book starts. So in the beginning, I say the first 30 minutes, I was kind of getting disappointed, because I was like, wow, they're kind of straying away from the book, and they're adding a little bit more, and then they're taking some things away. So I was like, man, like, and I know that Eclipse is a longer book, it's a thicker book, it's a longer read than Twilight and New Moon was. So I was like, okay, I understand cutting some things out, but they added the main things. So as examples was like on the scene where we first see Jacob again, and he's at the school with his black t-shirt, and he's supposed to be very mysterious and dangerous looking or whatever. In the book, he does not leave, Bella does not leave with Jacob. So when she left, I think that was during the whole movie, they played up, like they amped up the triangle, Bella, Jacob, and Edward. And then the rivalry between the two, they kind of amped that up. So I understand the scene, because they had to like, if you're Team Jacob, you want to see Edward left in the dust, so they did that. So they kind of played that up, but that wasn't originally in the book. So I was like, okay, I get it, you know. Yeah, I like that. That's really the only bad thing I have to say about it is overall they put the really important parts in there, and it worked out. The next thing I want to talk about is the steaminess of it, like the almost sex or the heavy petting. Let's say that we all know, if we've read the books, we all know that Eclipse is where it starts really getting hot and heavy, and I was looking for that steam. I was like, man, they didn't keep this PG-13, man. There, you know, we're not gonna see any sexiness, and I was so happy to see the opening of the movie is like them like all up on each other, and I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. So I was so glad when they opened the movie up like that, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be some action in this one. So and there was all of the intimate scenes. The bed scene with Edward and Bella, that was in there. The tent scene, I was so glad that the tent scene made it. I think in the movie, the newborns, like the whole backstory to that, or that whole storyline got a lot of play, and I was happy to see that too, because it makes you understand what a newborn is and how like really crazy they are in the beginning or whatever. So I was glad that was in there. What else? My favorite thing about it, how it kind of differs from Twilight and New Moon, is that in this one, to me, Edward, how do I want to say, kind of manned up or vampired up or whatever. Like, in this one, there was more connection with Edward and Bella, and he was more vocal. Like, I guess that comes from in New Moon, he was totally gone in the movie, so we didn't see him. And in Twilight, they were just meeting. So, but in this one, he kind of manned up to me. I cannot explain, can't make myself, oh my God, he just was more manly. In the other ones, and even in the book a little, he was more like reserved and quiet and staring off into the distance and brooding. He was a lot more vocal. You know, it made him more likable. I'm sure he'll have a lot more people on his team. And then also, I love this tent scene where you kind of see how Edward appreciates Bella, and he's like, he's not just in love. Like, someone who genuinely loves you is gonna want you to be happy, regardless of if you're with them or not. So, I love that we got to see that in the tent. Okay, everybody that I've talked to about Eclipse has all said the same thing. I love Jasper. I think from here on out, there's going to be a Team Edward, a Team Jacob, and there's definitely going to be a Team Jasper, because he really came out in this movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed Jasper's whole dynamic with the newborns and the strategy and the whole nine. Like, I really like Jasper. I really liked it, and I enjoyed it. I think anyone who sees it will enjoy it. I think if you're like a really extremely diehard fan of the books, of course you always wanted to stick straightly to the book, but I think it was a really good adaptation. So I enjoyed it. So if you have a review of Eclipse, please post it on this video. Leave me a comment of what you thought of Eclipse. Let me know if you've read the book. Let me know what team you're on, in the whole nine. And that's it. Thanks for watching.